Yes, folks, welcome back to the channel. It's the penultimate game of the season. It's our third trip to Tannadice this season, and we only need a point to secure the title. Yes, folks, welcome back to the channel. It is the second last game of the season. It's the second last starting 11 prediction of the season. Can't believe it's almost finished. We only need a point to secure the title tomorrow at Tannadice. What a prospect. I've loved going to Tannadice this season. Tannadice is one of my favourite away grounds in the country. I think as away grounds go in Scotland, Tannadice is up there with the best of them. Really close to the pitch, brilliant atmosphere. Always love going up there. We've had 2 great wins up there this season, which we'll talk about in a wee bit more detail shortly. But as I say, we only need a point to officially, mathematically secure the title after Saturday's 4-1 win over Hearts, where we went behind but responded brilliantly, and then could have won the game 5 or 6 in the end. We were really, really good. We showed resilience, but we also showed quality, and we played at a really high level, much like we have done all season. That's 30 league games unbeaten, which is a remarkable run, stretching back to that defeat at Livingston back in September. And I think if you'd have told me then that we would go the rest of the league campaign unbeaten, or even 30 games, whether we finish it unbeaten with these last 2 games this week or not, to go 30 games unbeaten, I would not have believed you back in September. The team have been unbelievable. The manager's been unbelievable. And as I say, what a prospect to go up to Tannadice tomorrow and officially clinch it. And then the celebrations can begin on Saturday against Motherwell at Celtic Park. It can just be a party from start to finish. I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, before we get to the head-to-head between the teams this season, I've got a new shirt on. I've finally managed to get my hands on a 1999-2001 home kit. That is my favourite Celtic kit of all time. Not because I think it's the best looking Celtic kit of all time, but because of nostalgia. It's my earliest memories of Celtic. It's Martin O'Neill's Celtic. It's Henrik Larsson, 53 goals in that season. I just love that kit. I want to wear my own one. Here's my original own one. Larsson on the back, absolutely brilliant, but I just don't think that one would fit me. Don't know what you think. Delighted to finally get my hands on one, but just look at that kit. I mean, how good is it?
This is football heritage.
Brilliant. Anyway, moving on. The head-to-head between the teams this season, we had that 1-1 draw at Celtic Park, but at Tannadice we've had 2 3-0 victories, one in the Scottish Cup and one in the league in December. That away performance in the league on the 5th of December was up there with the best performances we've had all season. I certainly think it was our best performance up to that point. We absolutely blew Dundee United away that day. Tom Rogic was fantastic. He scored that goal of the season contender where he drifted past 3 or 4 players, buried it into the bottom corner. We were just scintillating that day. Absolutely brilliant. And if we play anything like that tomorrow, I expect us to get 3 points, not just the one we need to clinch the title. And as the manager keeps saying, it'd be really, really good to burst over the finish line, win it really well, get 2 victories tomorrow and 1 on Saturday, finishing as high a points tally as possible, and go out in a brilliant fashion, because that's what the end of this season deserves. It's been absolutely fantastic for us. Dundee United come into this game sitting 4th. They've got a point cushion ahead in Motherwell in 5th place. They're still going for European football, and they've given us a couple of tough games this season. It just so happens the 2 toughest games against them have been at Celtic Park, and we've been much more comfortable on the trips to Tannadice. So hopefully that's the case tomorrow. But as I say, if we start at a good intensity, play the way we did on Saturday, I fully expect us to get 3 points and start the party heading towards Trophy Day for the weekend. Right, we'll get to the team. As always, we'll start in goals, and it will be Joe Hart. Great to see his celebrations on Saturday. Just a bit of a strange one for the team. They can't go full blast at the celebrations because it's not officially clinched yet, but you could see a real relief in them, and they were really enjoying the scenes at the end, interacting with the crowd and celebrating, and none more so than Joe Hart, who's been absolutely brilliant. I think his attitude, I remember I made a video the night the news broke that we were going to sign Joe Hart, and at that time there was a lot of speculation about whether he would be a good signing for Celtic or not, and I said if he comes here with the right attitude, the right level of professionalism, and commits to being at Celtic, and he's not just up here to phone it in towards the end of his career, then he'll be a good signing for us. and you've got to take your hat off to him because he's done that. His attitude has been brilliant. His leadership at times has been brilliant, and he's made big saves for us, which is the most important thing. You think about the problems we had with goalkeeping last season. We need a goalkeeper to come in and bring a sense of calmness to the back line. Joe Hart's done that, and he's made big saves when he had to. So he'll start in goals tomorrow. At right back, Ralston will continue. The manager said today that Juranovic isn't ready yet. He could be ready for the weekend. I don't really expect him to be risked at the weekend either, though. Last game of the season, hopefully everything will be tied up, and I expect Ralston to see out the season. And listen, Ralston's been absolutely terrific this season. He has been almost a microcosm of the journey the team's been on, because I don't think anyone really believed after that bad start that we'd go on and win the title and win a League and Cup double. I don't think anyone believed at the start of the season Anthony Ralston would play such a key role, and he has done, and that's credit to him. So he'll start at right back. The centre-half pairing will be, as it always is, Cameron Carter-Vickers and Carol Starfelt. Again, I thought they were good at the weekend. Slow start, losing the goal, but both excellent. And the manager's talking again about the work being done behind the scenes to try and secure the permanent transfers of Cameron Carter-Vickers and Jota. Hopefully we get good news on that. In the close season, it will be Greg Taylor at left-back, who again on Saturday was exceptional. His level of performance in the last few weeks, last few months, I think you could say, really bounced back for that poor European performance against Bodo Glimt. His performances against Rangers have been brilliant, and I think Saturday was another progression of that. He was really, really good carrying the ball forward. His defensive work was really good. He's been brilliant in the second half of the season, or after February, you could say, after the European exit. Greg Taylor has been almost the pick of the bunch in the Celtic team. He's been excellent. So he'll start at left back. In midfield, it will be Callum McGregor, obviously, leading the team. Ahead of him, I think it'll be David Turnbull. I got that right at the weekend. As I say, 2 starting 11s in a row that I've got right. I think that's maybe the first time all season I've got back-to-back correct 11s. I was surprised actually that Turnbull started, even though I picked it. I was thinking, will the manager go with Turnbull and O'Reilly, given that it's a partnership we haven't seen? He did. They were both really good. I thought David Turnbull showed his quality in the game. Again, after that slow start, we really got going, and he was key to that. Alongside him, Matt O'Reilly was brilliant as well. But I'm going to put Tom Rogic back in for this game. It seems baffling that you would take O'Reilly out, I know. I just think there might be 1 or 2 changes. I've went with one here. I think it will be Rogic. He's been brilliant at Tannadice, as I say, at this season, particularly in that game in December. So I've just went with him. It wouldn't surprise me to see the midfield stay the same as it was at the weekend. Brilliant depth in that area of the pitch, particularly in terms of the attacking options with Turnbull, Rogic, O'Reilly. Hatate there as well. I think a rest on the bench did him the world of good. He looked like he had a bit more energy when he came on for the last 20 minutes at the weekend. But I'm going with Rogic to start in midfield tomorrow night. Jota will start on the right hand side, I expect. Excellent again at the weekend. I gave him a 10 in the player ratings. He's just excellent. I did see the clip of Callum McGregor after the game though, saying to Greg Taylor that it should have been you, then me, then Jota in order for man of the match, but I thought Jota was man of the match. I think he dragged us back into the game. McGregor and Taylor were excellent, but I think Jota gave us that bit of quality when we really needed it to get his level. And it was a brave run. He took control, played it into Maida, and then for there we really calmed down and took control of the game from then on. Left hand side, I think it will be Dyson Maida. I think he'll keep his place. As I say, he got that goal at the weekend. His goal return has been really, really good. We do have that obligation to buy him, 1.6 million at the end of the season, so I expect him obviously to become a permanent Celtic player. He's been a great addition. I think I'm trying to rack my brains. I meant to check before I came on to make the video the last game that Dyson Maida didn't start in. That shows you what a key part of Angie's plans he's become, and he's merited at every single start because the work rate that he puts in, but also, as I say, chip him in with the goals and the intensity off the ball, key for, as I say, every week. But he's been brilliant, and I'm going to stick with Kyogo through the middle. I think he was much better at the weekend. He obviously got his goal. He was really brave to get his goal, by the way. It did cross the line, not by a millimetre, even though Craig Gordon seemed to suggest it was only a millimetre. And the linesman could see it for 40 yards away. Aye, that's his job, and he got it right. I don't know why Craig Gordon seemed to be complaining that the linesman got it right. he just seems to complain about everything against Celtic, Craig Gordon. Don't know what's up with him. But Kyogo was really good. Put his head in where he could have got hit. Didn't foul Craig Gordon either. I seen that mentioned. The ball was over the line and Kyogo only dunts into Gordon because he gets pushed by Kingsley. Really good. Could maybe have had 1 or 2 more goals in the game, Kyogo, but good to see him getting more minutes under his belt. I expect him to start. Yakimakis came on and got a goal though. Again, another good finish for him. His penalty box play is really, really good. He doesn't have the movement of Kyogo. He doesn't have the all-round quality, I would say, but that's not to take anything away from his finishing ability and his predatory instincts in the box, because he's been brilliant. I think he's now got the same amount of goals as Kyogo in the league. And when you think about his start to the season, lack of pre-season, the injuries, the really poor start that he had in the games that he played in the first half of the season, in the second half of the season, he's shown that he can be a real asset for us. And I think, again, off the bench tomorrow, he will get some game time, but I've just went with Kyogo to start through the middle. There you go. That's the team I think the manager will go with tomorrow. Like this video, comment with your own thoughts on the team below. Who do you think will start? Enjoy the game wherever you're watching it. We will be going up to Tannadice for the 3rd time this season. It should be a brilliant atmosphere. Hopefully a party atmosphere, if we can get the point we need to clinch the title. And then it'll be on to Trophy Day on Saturday against Motherwell. But we'll get all the full-time reaction to you as soon as we can after the game tomorrow. Join us for that. Don't miss it. Thanks for watching.